What's up, guys? It's Jacob, and we're back today with another book review. And today it's going to be on the Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman. So Josh starts the book off by talking about what business school is, what these various MBA programs are teaching students who are enrolling, and he also mentions a lot of the cons that are associated with being in one of these MBA programs. So for instance, super high cost of tuition. And if you're familiar with some of the top MBA programs, they have astronomical costs associated with attending them. So he talks about, those different cons and how somebody could actually potentially gain a lot of the same knowledge that they would get from any business school and actually get it themselves by educating themselves through whether it be books or other different types of media, and then also gaining, real world work experience. So what's the deal? Can you actually get all of the same knowledge that they would teach you in one of these top business schools condensed into a short book just like this? This book is broken up into various different sections that go over all of the relevant information that you might expect to be on any type of business school curriculum. Short, very digestible chunks that you can read. And this book is almost more like a Google search on, very important business topics. So if there's something specific that you want to learn about. So like for instance, in the finance section, he makes note of one of the key financial statements, or the balance sheet. So if you wanted to quickly just brush up on your knowledge on the balance sheet, you could, go into the book, flip to that area, read the little section about the balance sheet, and then, set the book back down. So this book is great because, you can read it front to cover, which is sort of how I did it, but you can also reference it again later. One of the key topics that this book talks about is the 5 main components of any business, and that's going to be value creation, marketing, sales, value delivery, and then finance. So he makes reference to value creation. So when you're in business, you need to be creating something of value, something that other people want. And if you don't have that, then you really don't have any type of business. And when it comes to marketing, you could have the best idea under the sun. It could be, something that you feel like everybody can value from. But if you're not marketing it, so in an essence, if nobody knows about what you're actually creating, then you have no business either, because you're never going to be able to reach anybody. Then he talks about sales. So if you're not actually, taking this valuable thing that you've created and then trying to convert that into sales and, generate money so that you can keep pumping it into the business, then you don't really have a true business either, because you need to actually sell what you are, working and creating on. And then value delivery. So are you actually delivering on this, valuable thing that you've claimed that you've made and you've marketed to people and you've sold? Are you actually delivering on that? If not, then you're basically scamming people. So you need to be able to deliver something of value. And then also, finance. So in the long run, this needs to be financially feasible. So you need to be eventually churning a profit at some point. And if not, then, the business will not last very long. All right, so what are my candid thoughts about this book? Do I really think that, just reading this can be a suitable replacement for actually going to an MBA program? The answer is yes and no. It really depends on what you're looking for. So a lot of people who go to these, top MBA programs, these are people who are looking to work at sort of the best of the best. So maybe they want to work at Amazon, Google, et cetera, and they want to jump into these, prolific roles right off the jump. And in order to do that, they're going to be spending substantial amounts of money. When you go to one of these really prestigious schools, there's sort of an understanding from employers that, this person has gone through this rigorous coursework, and, maybe some of the knowledge that they were taught isn't even anything crazy outside of some of the other schools around the country. But we have connections with this university, and there's a lot of networking that's going to happen if you go here, to the point where if you have the brand associated with where you went to school, you're more likely to get a job. So a lot of people say that it's really based on sort of who you meet when you're in business school and the networking that you do, and that's going to be the thing that provides you most of the real value, and it's not so much the education, because in today's day and age, obviously you can really learn anything just basically on the internet at this point. If you're looking, to have the prestige of an MBA, have those 3 letters behind your name, and get one of those really, top-notch positions one day, then you're gonna probably have to go to one of those top programs. I'm sorry to break it to you. But if you're sort of your average Joe, right, you could go to an MBA program, and you can actually probably go to a much more reasonably cost one. So maybe like your, in-state school You can even probably do an online one, and just having that recognition of the 3 letters behind your name is likely going to help you out when you're in your career to potentially get promotions. So for instance, if you work at a job already and then you get these 3 letters behind your name, then you're maybe more likely to get promoted over somebody else who maybe does not have that. Now, it's no guarantee, and there's a good chance that you also aren't really given any special treatment for that. You kind of gotta like decide whether or not that's really right for you. For me personally, I actually did complete an MBA program. I did an online program, and I fall into that category number 2 of sort of your average Joe. I'm already working right now. What I do is basically management. So I felt that, if I completed one of these programs that, it would set me up for more long-term success if I wanted to, take on a higher role that might give me sort of a leg up on people who don't have it. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of schools out there, and some of them are online, some of them are, like I said, those in-state schools, and they're actually quite affordable. So we're talking about like, under $20K to attend. So from that perspective, you can actually, go to one of these schools, and let's say that the information that you learn isn't anything groundbreaking. If the cost is low enough and you have the available time, it might be something worth considering. Now, do I think everybody needs to do that? Absolutely not. And also, do I really feel like after I've done that, it's benefited me all that much? Not really. But I do feel like in the future, it might, again, just give me a little bit of a leg up, and I really didn't spend much on it at all. So for those who are looking for the route of not going to school, and if you picked up a book like this, there's a chance that you have no interest in going to school. For a lot of people, that's probably the best way to go about it, because there's nothing better than free. And a lot of the information online is free. If you're not interested in going through any type of formal education, I do think you can learn a lot of the business concepts on your own, truthfully. You can learn anything you want to know about finance online, anything you want to know about, sales, marketing. There's so many great resources out there on the internet, and you just really need to put into the work and find it. And this is actually a great source because it will sort of talk about those topics really concisely, and it also gives you references for where you can go and further expand your knowledge. Josh right here, he actually created the personalmba.com, which you can use in conjunction with the book. Go on his website, and he talks about these topics, but then, again, gives you a list of different resources that you can read and learn more about it. So, reading one little page about marketing probably isn't gonna give you the whole story. So if you do feel like that's something that's valuable to you or your business, he's then gonna give you the resources so you can learn a lot more about it. So I do think that that's super beneficial. All right, so the last thing I'll mention here is, although yes, resources like this will give you a lot of great information and you can learn a ton out there online, when you really start learning this stuff is when you actually start implementing it. Here's a practical example from my life. I read, the topics in here, some of them related to management. Right now, I currently manage people, and in the role that I have right now, this is really my first time managing others. So even though there's some great advice here in the book, you don't really learn that much until you actually start doing it, especially with something like management where you're working with other people and there's so many different variables and dynamics and things going on. You really just need that real world practical experience. So I think that this is, again, a great resource, but also at the same time, if you're interested in business and you want to, pursue that as something maybe you're gonna do in your life, start getting experience. It's great to read, it's great to learn, do that in conjunction with also going out there and trying to, start something for yourself. The best way to learn about marketing is to actually try to market something and see how it goes. Learn from your failures, learn what's working, and sort of keep refining it. Overall, I think it's a great read. I think anybody who is interested in business, finance, stuff of that nature, this should definitely be on their bookshelf as a nice reference guide that they can look back to for various topics. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are interested in any other books related to business, finance, let me know. I will pick it up and I'll try to do a review for you guys. But in the meantime, I hope you guys take care.